So here it is, the Lenovo Legion Slim 7. It's finally in the studio, and I have to say it is a beautiful looking laptop. It has this premium vibe to it with its metal lid. It's like half the size of a Legion 5 or 7, and it only weighs 4.1 pounds. Now, right now, I have it connected to the power connector. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want you to see the lights on the back of the laptop. They have this on other Lenovo laptops, but I still want to mention it because it's one of those small things that I truly appreciate. Like, you have this on your desk and you're connecting stuff to it. Instead of stretching your head all the way behind the laptop, it just lights up and it just makes your life easier connecting cables. Now, on the back, you do get the power connector, which is a 230 watt brick. It's a little big, but it's a custom power brick, meaning Lenovo leaves these little lips on both sides, allowing you to wrap your cord around it quite easily. In terms of ports, it's not tons compared to other gaming laptops. Like, on the back, all you have is 2 USB ports. And then on the left-hand side, you actually get a full-size SD card slot, your audio jack, and then on the right-hand side, you have 2 USB Type-C ports. Now, the keyboard is great. I love the U-shaped keys. It has a nice tactile click. It bottoms out very nicely. Not as deep and pressful as their ThinkPad lineup, but overall, it's a great keyboard. You have that numpad on the right-hand side for your number warriors, and there's RGB. You can customize it to any single color you want. There's per key RGB, and there's a bit of confusion at first when you look at some of the buttons for RGB on the keyboard itself. Like, for example, you have the up arrow and down arrow that increases or decreases the brightness of the keyboard. And then you have these two over here, which you use function spacebar, that allows you to cycle through different profiles. So like if I hit it once, I can have the entire keyboard do like a wave effect. If I hit it again, it's gonna be static. So you can play with this while you're using the actual computer. Now, you still have function Q, which is standard on most Lenovo laptops, that lets you cycle through quiet, performance, and auto. Just note that performance mode will not work when it's not plugged in. So if you want that most performance aspect, then you got to keep the laptop plugged into the wall. Touchpad is a good size. It's nice and big. I didn't have any issues with it. It's fairly accurate. But this sticker guy, whew, 4 stickers on each and every single laptop. This guy does not like his job, because you can tell with the placement of these stickers, he's not a happy guy. He's coming in, he's slapping them on. The RTX sticker is not lined up with the AMD sticker. There's just, it's like a traffic jam. Now, the display is 1920 by 1080, which is like the typical aspect ratio that gamers prefer. And it's a good display. You know, instead of 144 hertz that you'd find on most displays last year, this one's 165. And I think that's fine, because this is using an RTX 3060, and frame rates are not going to be much higher than that. So taking advantage of a 240 or 300 is really not going to happen on a laptop like this. It's a bright display around 355 nits. It's color accurate, so I feel comfortable doing design work on this. And it has a webcam, which is something I have to talk about now because other manufacturers are not putting them on their laptops. Now, my review unit comes with a Ryzen 7 5800H, a 16 gigabytes of RAM, the 15-inch display, and an RTX 3060. The 3060 inside of here is a 60-watt GPU. It has dynamic boost, but the highest I personally got it to boost was up to 68 watts. Now, if you're buying this for gaming, it will handle all the games comfortably at 1080p without any issues, but it's not the most powerful 3060, right? There's other laptops at this price point that can push out better frame rates. But you're sacrificing those frame rates in order to have a very portable and thin design. But the one area that this thing kind of had me a little bit worried was heat management. Like, if this thing is on performance mode, it gets pretty hot, like over 100 degrees Celsius. If you're putting it down to auto mode and you're pounding this thing like crazy, it hovers around 94 or 95 degrees. There's no like crazy thermal throttling or anything, and the CPU's clock speeds stay nice and high. It's just a little bit warm. And if you are to actually touch the keyboard in the middle here around the U and H key, I've seen temperatures get up to 58 degrees Celsius, which is super uncomfortable for your finger to touch. Now, inside we have 2 fans with copper running across the middle to keep the CPU and GPU cool. We have a swappable Wi-Fi card. We have a drive on the left-hand side and a second slot to place a second drive if you want to upgrade down the road. Now, this battery is 71 watt hours, and I was only able to get 4 hours of use before needing to charge. This is with hybrid mode on and using the quiet profile, so not the best battery life. RAM, There's 8 gigabytes or 16 gigabytes, depending on the SKU, soldered onto the motherboard. But the slot you can upgrade, it's using IR16 RAM instead of IR8. Now, Jared's Tech and Linus did a video about this, but basically IR8 is significantly better. It provides a big difference in terms of performance. So just swapping this stick out for an IR8 stick will see an increase in performance with the games that you're currently playing today. And if you want to dive into more why this happens, I'll place their videos in the description down below. So here's the thing. I really love the look of this laptop. There's a lot of great things going for it, especially with the design and the portability. It's just that it can get a bit hot, you know, and I'm kind of worried about the longevity of it, especially if you're someone who's gaming for hours on hours during the day, or if you're someone who's using this to render a lot of files. That can be a cause of concern. If you're more of a light user, then I wouldn't worry about it too much, but it's just something to keep in mind. Now, the RAM issue, this is popping up on a lot of laptops now. So this is not specific to Lenovo, and that's an easy fix. You can go out and buy like a $40 8 gigabyte stick and see an increase in performance. But it's just a tough recommendation right now because like you can buy the G14 for the exact same price and a lot of those issues are automatically alleviated. Anyways, if you're interested in checking this out, there'll be a link in the description down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.